Hey, I'm Mira, and today I'm talking with Zanny Minton Beddoes. Zanny is the editor-in-chief of The Economist. She's the 17th editor-in-chief in the magazine's history, but the first female one. What exactly does editor-in-chief mean? Let's find out. Hi, Zanny.
Hi, Mira.
Nice to meet you. Can you tell me about what you do?
What do I do? Well, I edit a magazine called The Economist. But you know what, we call it a newspaper, which is quite strange, but we call it a newspaper because it was founded in 1843, 173 years ago. And then all magazines like ours were called newspapers, but also because we feel that it has the kind of feeling of being a newspaper. We comment on the week's news.
Did you always dream yourself as an editor?
No, never. I can't really remember, but I went through a stage of really liking biology and really liking chemistry. And it was when I was doing my O-levels or GCSEs. And so I thought I wanted to be a biochemist. I didn't actually know what a biochemist did, but because I liked biology and because I liked chemistry, I figured that biochemist had an interesting job. And then for a while I wanted to be a diplomat. I thought that would be very exciting. And then I actually had no idea what I wanted to do. So it was only really when I was in America that I realized that I really liked economics and I really liked writing.
So do you have to travel a lot? Because you must have a lot of good general knowledge to keep up with 196 countries.
Well, luckily I have a lot of very, very brilliant colleagues who help me keep up with what's going on. But I do travel quite a lot. We are a global newspaper, so we've got lots of, more than half of our readers are in America. We've got a lot of readers in Asia. So I do quite a lot of traveling for things like Economist events. I go and speak at places where we're putting on events. And also to have a sense of what's going on in the world, you do have to travel. And about a month ago, on one of the most amazing trips I've been on, I went to Saudi Arabia for the first time. And Saudi Arabia is a pretty tough place, particularly if you're a woman. Women are not allowed to drive there.
Yeah.
Women have to dress in those long cloaks. So that was a really interesting trip for me. And it was a much more complicated place than I thought, because what was amazing is when I went to meetings, and I had lots of meetings with kind of financial people and bankers and the government and the deputy crown prince and all kinds of people. But in many meetings, the most interesting and the most interesting questions would be asked by a woman. So I was very happy about that.
So what is it like to be the first female editor of The Economist?
Well, the surprising thing for me really was quite how big a deal it was. I hadn't expected that. And I'm surprised that lots of people asked me about it, lots of people are interested in it. And what it made me realize was that there's still really not that many women doing jobs like this, whether it's in the media or indeed in lots of other places. And so I'm very conscious that we need to do more, and I'm really, really looking forward to the day when it's no longer a big deal for a woman to be an editor. So I hope that by the time you do something, no one will even be particularly excited about the fact that there's a woman editor, that will be completely normal.
Yeah, because you've already been the first.
Well, yeah, and hopefully in lots of other things, if you look at people running companies, people running newspapers, that they will be completely normal to have lots of women doing that. I think that would be great. I think it'd be great if we didn't think it was surprising.
Yeah. Has anyone ever been annoyed at something you've written?
Oh, lots of times. Lots of times. Yeah, because quite often what we write, or almost always what we write, is very opinionated.
Yeah.
So there's always people that disagree with our opinions. When I talk to my colleagues here, I say that every week what we should try and do is stretch our readers' minds, and if we provoke them, that's great.
Yes, it makes sense. There are always two sides to a story.
Of course, absolutely. We've always pushed liberal causes at The Economist. We are a very liberal newspaper. We believe in free markets, we believe in individual freedom. And so we have pushed what we think are important social causes, and they're not always popular. So for instance, in 1996, so that's 20 years ago, we were arguing that gay people should be allowed to get married. And that was a very, very controversial thing to argue 20 years ago. Now, of course, in many countries, it's the law, but it was 20 years ago very, very controversial. So we are not afraid to be controversial.
What advice would you give to kids?
You are full of very, very tough questions. The one thing that I've learnt and that I think is really, really important, is to never say no to doing something new. Always try things. and keep your options open. You'll never regret doing something. You may regret not doing something. So even if you try something and you decide, actually I don't like doing this, or this is not for me, great, you've tried it. But if you don't try things, then you'll never know whether you like them or
So
not.
basically, be adventurous.
Be adventurous, take risks. That would be my advice.
Okay, that's really good. It's really lovely to meet you, Zanny. Thank you so much.
It's very, very nice to meet you, Mira. Thank you for coming in.
It was really awesome and fun meeting Zanny today. I learned that Zanny is a very cool, interesting, and inspiring person. I hope you guys felt the same about her. Bye! See you guys next time!